The first warm days of the year, the air smells fresh after a spring storm, the wind is in your hair. Well, not today, but is it a good time to start looking for a second-hand cabriolet? Let's find out. This is another used car episode. Now, I'm no expert on second-hand cars, so I spoke with Paweł, or Paul, who owns a car vetting business here in Poland. It's called Motoraporter. This video is not sponsored. Paweł supplies the cars for the shoot and offers his insight. If you're looking for a second-hand car in Poland, I'll leave a link to his site in the video description. You can also check out our full chat on the Polish channel. Just turn on subtitles with auto-translate. As I'm recording this during the first days of spring, it may actually not be the best time to buy a second-hand convertible because everyone has the same brilliant idea and prices tend to be a bit higher than in autumn when people want to get rid of their toys. But chances are you found me by searching for used cabriolets, so it doesn't matter what time of the year you're watching this as long as I help you make the right choice. So let's get on with it. If you're new to convertibles, here are some general non-mechanical tips. Cabriolets are rarely sports cars. While there are some sports cars with removable tops, these are usually on the top end of the price spectrum. We're talking Porsches, Ferraris, etc. The Mazda MX-5, proud owner, is a low-cost sport-ish exception as it's designed from ground up as a roadster. Most convertibles are regular cars that had roofs chopped off and had to have some reinforcement added to deal with the additional chassis flexing. This is especially true in French convertibles popular some 10 to 20 years ago, where the front and the rear feel like they're joined by rubber rather than steel. So, if you're on a budget and you're looking for convertibles, it's mostly recreational vehicles. Now, something to consider is type of the roof, soft or hard top. If you live somewhere where it snows and rains a lot and you're planning to daily your convertible, a folding hardtop may be a better solution than a soft top. However, hardtops are usually heavier as well as more difficult and expensive to fix. Then there's the roof mechanism. Manual opening and closing of the roof is great in a roadster where you can reach behind and grab the roof with your hand and operate it, less so in a larger car where you have to stop and fiddle around with the roof. I also suggest leather upholstery as it's easier to keep clean. You may have noticed how much dust sits on your car. Now imagine all this dust inside because the roof is open. And now imagine a few drops of rain leaving stains on the fabric. You want leather because you'll just wipe it clean. Convertibles usually have more powerful heating, so driving with the open top on colder days is not an issue, especially if the car has heated seats. So if you're looking at two cars in similar condition, pick the one with heated seats. There's also a myth that cabriolets often have low mileage. Well, many are used as dailies, and even if they are just weekend and summer cars, they can be driven further to some picturesque location. Speaking of which, don't assume you're going to be driving with the open top most of the time. Getting from A to B on the motorway is best done with the roof closed. Also, on hot days you don't want to get a sunstroke, so make sure the AC works because you'll need it. Sometimes even with the roof open, which sounds counterintuitive, but it's true. It's the B road or maybe city driving where you want to open the roof as you won't have to deal with too much wind turbulence. The engine choice. Now, don't get a diesel. I know there were some diesel convertibles, but diesel just takes away from the fun of driving with the roof open. Either listen to a proper engine noise or keep it quiet so that you can hear more of the nature surrounding you. Also, if you're buying a larger convertible, a more powerful engine may be in order, not necessarily for sporty driving, but to maintain a good pace in a car that's probably heavier than the model it's based on. And now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Is the roof mechanism electric or hydraulic? Electric roof mechanisms are easier to fix or replace and easy to calibrate. When looking at a car with hydraulic roof mechanism, Start by checking the level and the condition of the hydraulic fluid. There is a reservoir next to the pump somewhere in the boot. If the level's not right or if the fluid is dark, pump troubles may be on the horizon. Changing the fluid is easy and it's a regular hydraulic fluid. When looking at a convertible you want to buy, open the roof halfway, sort of like this, and check the metal elements for rust, lubrication, signs of tampering. Check the condition of the seals and the fabric as well as insulation. An electric roof left in this position may drop slightly, but the hydraulic roof should maintain its position. If it doesn't, it's a sign of pressure loss in the hydraulic system. Another reason to leave the roof open halfway is to take a look at the bay where the folded roof is stored. Again, you're looking for parts of the mechanism as well as for general condition of this area. You don't want to see any rust here, and you want to make sure the drains are clear. A simple trick is to just have a sniff around a closed car. You should be able to smell excess moisture and resulting fungus. Yes, it can get to that. Another way is to take a tissue and press it against the carpet to check for moisture. Remember that in many cars, some electronics are located below the seats, so any water there spells trouble. In some cases, when the roof mechanism takes on water, there may be visible water stains inside, and that can also happen, or actually especially, on hard tops. Now, accidents. It's logical to prefer cars which have been rear-ended as long as the engine remains untouched. In case of convertibles, rear-end collisions are much more challenging because the chassis strengthening can be quite delicate. If car's geometry is affected, realigning the roof mechanism can be a tricky business. So, check the chassis alignment and then verify if and how the roof closes. Do it when the car is parked on even surface, and then see if it's watertight. While a few drops around the side windows are almost normal, especially in older cars, it's where the roof meets the windscreen that any significant problems can occur. If you don't have a water hose with which you can simulate a bit of rain, take the car out on the motorway and listen for any air noises. Also, ask the seller for the emergency roof operating kit. There is usually some tool or set of tools which allows to open or close the roof when the mechanism fails. These tend to be hard to find later, and you don't want to park your car with the roof open or partially closed for a couple of weeks while you look for the tools. Also, if these tools are missing, it may also suggest there has already been an emergency situation with the roof and whoever did the repairs wasn't meticulous enough to put everything back in its place. Even in a 20-year-old convertible, it's worth to run the diagnostics. There are some roof sensors, so any errors and their history should pop up on the computer. Now, convertible roof repairs are usually very expensive, so don't fall for the trick when the seller tells you the problem with the roof is an easy and cheap fix. If it's easy and cheap, let them fix it. It's usually cheaper to fix the engine or some minor cosmetic issues than to fix the roof. On the other hand, in case of newer cars, you may find that a relatively small issue results in a write-off. For example, some car makers don't have a procedure for broken rear window replacement, so they can only replace the whole roof, and the insurance company says, no, we're not paying. So, assuming you can find a car that wasn't left rotting on the lot, and you can find a specialist who will replace the glass properly and make the roof watertight again, you may find a relative bargain. Relative because waiting times for repairs are usually long, and parts are scarce. Finding a good second-hand convertible may prove a bit tricky, but it's not impossible. Are you looking for a pre-owned open-top car? Or have you found your topless dream? No, not that one. Let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you're interested in second-hand cars, let me know what else you'd like to know about them. Maybe it'll be a topic of one of the future episodes. If you like my sarcastic, down-to-earth and possibly mildly amusing car reviews, join me every Friday at 3 p.m. Central European Time. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video, as it helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.